This past year, I've gone on a quest to crack the code of the new rich. These are people like Allison Layla Hermosi, Lewis Howes, Stefan, and many of the other high-profile influencers that I can see today all over the internet. In this video, we talk about Codie Sanchez.
Gentlemen, make some noise for Codie Sanchez!
I stumbled upon one of Codie's videos about a year ago. Now, she not only captivated me with the fact that she is stunning, but she's one of those people out there who's talking about how to get wealthy without it having to take your entire lifetime.
Be a billionaire at 87. What?
I believe today this is an attractive idea because there are a lot of Gen Xers like myself and aging millennials that value lifestyle as well as financial resources so that they can live the lifestyle they desire now without having to save every single penny and maybe hopefully be healthy enough in their later years to enjoy it. This hit home for me because I saw my own mother work super hard for much of her life, only to die of ovarian cancer at the age of 75, which was way too young. She still had a lot of life to live, in my opinion. So if you're anywhere in your 30s to 60s and you don't yet have the financial wealth that you'd like, but you are willing to do something about that, stick around. Boasting that she has amassed a business portfolio of over $100 million and growing every day, Codie believes that almost anyone can create generational wealth for themselves if they will just do some things that I'll share in this video. I binged on as many of Codie's talks as possible and podcasts.
Slept on my couch for 2 years to pull this off.
To get really clear on her approach and belief systems, to try to see the consistent strategies and vehicles that she's used to create her wealth and to become an internet sensation in a relatively short amount of time. So here are my top 5 takeaways. One of the first things that it took me a little bit of time to realize about Codie is her journey took time. And if you're looking to make a change in your life, maybe take your career or your life overall to the next level, maybe you're looking to figure out a way that you want to make money and enjoy it for the rest of your life, then you got to understand that you don't just start this thing today and then tomorrow it's an overnight thing. In Codie's example, she worked in corporate for years for 5 different large companies, including Vanguard and I believe Goldman Sachs, and she ended up leaving there. She wasn't happy. In fact, I've heard her say she was unemployable. And what does that mean? It means she realized all that time that she wanted to work for herself. But during that time, she gained experience. And I think that sometimes gets left off the table when we see these people online that look like they became an overnight, success, 7 figures, 10 figures, whatever. And the reality is everybody's journey takes the time it takes. And along the way, you're always gaining experience. And if you can use that experience to help you to move forward in your future, whatever your high value offering is going to be, or whatever the thing you're going to do next is, you recognize that the stuff that you did in your past will get you moving forward. What I love about hearing about her past personal journey is that Codie worked for years in jobs that didn't fulfill her, which I think a lot of us out there can relate to. The second very consistent takeaway that I hear in all Codie's talks is that it's time for small businesses to take back their share of the economy before big business owns all of it. The reality is, if you're a Gen Xer and even maybe an older millennial, you remember a time where in your communities, in your towns, many or most of the businesses were owned by the local guy up the street. And now you might drive around those same streets and you'll see the same name stores in every mall. No longer the business is run by a family business or, a local entrepreneur. It's the big names that have come in. And the other point that she makes is we also don't own our homes anymore. And what does that mean? It means that if you look at the statistics today, 25% of the single family homes in America are owned by an investment company, a large corporation, somebody who's buying up homes and then renting them back to us. It's probably important for our long-term success as a country, or as just a person that wants personal sovereignty, to own the thing that you're working in, to own the thing that you're living in, because, well, there's a million different reasons why. It gives you more pride of ownership. It gives you a why, like your long-term deal. It gives you a place that when you pay the thing off and you're done, or the business profits, that you're the one that gets to take it home. You know, in her story, she went from corporate and it was nothing sexy. She bought a small business. This is something, again, that I can relate to as a Gen Xer, because I think our generation watched the world wealth transfer right before our eyes, and we remember the days that the American dream did feel very attainable for, well, everybody. Codie calls what we're experiencing now serfdom, which obviously relates to the serfs of the Middle Ages, and she feels like it's our responsibility to take back small businesses and take back home ownership in our communities. Which leads us to number 3. Most people don't believe that they'll ever be able to do this anyway. So why even try?
And so I think it all comes down to what we believe, which is hard for somebody in finance like me to say, you know? Typically, I would think, well, if you knew what to do, you could just do it. But that's not the case. It's you have to believe that you can do it.
Even worse than that, they create a lifestyle of overspending in the wrong places, buying large comforts like bigger TVs so they can feel the immediate comfort of living vicariously through somebody else on Netflix. Codie tells a story of one of the poorest neighborhoods where every household has these enormous TVs on the wall. And her theory is that this is so they can take themselves out of their reality that, you know, is the slums of their streets and their surroundings, without ever having to really do anything about it. This just helps them feel rich, I guess. Why this is important is that big dreams require big actions. And if we're all stuck at home binging on Netflix or feeling safe in our office cubicles, but really knowing that we'd like to get out there and get more out of life, then we have to start to believe that we have some control in this thing. In multiple podcast conversations, I listen to Codie say that belief is her least favorite thing to talk about because everybody's talking about it. But the fact is, she does acknowledge that without first having that belief, the average person will simply never take action. Number 4 is buy boring businesses. While doing the research for this video, I found a study amongst people that was asking them, do they believe that the American dream actually still exists? You know, people, can they buy a business? Can they own a home? One commenter wrote, of course, the American dream exists. I'm a 4th generation immigrant. Most newer immigrants get together, they work hard together, they buy a house together as a family, and maybe a business, etc., and to build from that. But most Americans that have been here for a while are disgruntled and too much has been handed to them. I have to say, I found this comment interesting because it seems that immigration in the U.S. is in increasing demand, and these are people that obviously still see the U.S. as the land of opportunity and are willing to do the hard work, or as Codie Sanchez calls it, the boring work.
And so I buy profitable cash flowing businesses. And so my little framework to make it easy, because I think that's important on the internet, this stuff intimidated me before too, is called BRRT, which means buy boring businesses that are profitable. They have to make money in recession-resistant asset classes like plumbing, landscaping, construction.
Before we get to number 5, I just want to know, are you enjoying this video, number 1? Number 2, are you an entrepreneur? Is this something that you've been doing and maybe you have some business secrets that you want to share with the community, share with the group of people that are starting to watch these videos? Leave it in comments below. Talk to me. I'd love to get a conversation started about this. I think this channel is really about, people that are, maybe midlife. They've tried a different thing. We realize we have a lot of time left. We want to make the second half of life better. We want to work in a way that we enjoy. By the way, if you're liking this video, check out this one. It's Tim Ferriss, my top 4 or 5 takeaways, I can't remember, from the 4-day work week. Anyway, let's get back to it. So the 5th and final takeaway from my Codie Sanchez binge: businesses are easier to buy than you think.
This is the richest guy in India. This guy's the richest guy in Latin America. And this, the richest man in the world.
What do they all have in common? They've bought businesses to build their empires.
What you're looking for is a solid business model and an owner that has been running that business for a long time, and maybe is just simply tired of it and they're ready to retire. So hey guys, I got to break in and tell a quick story here about this. In real time, I started, telling a buddy of mine about Codie Sanchez, and he's been looking to get into another career in his life. He has saved some money over the years, so he's got a significant amount of money saved. I'm just going to call it a couple $100,000. So I start telling him about this laundromat thing, telling him about this boring business thing. And it ends up that he had grown up where his dad had a few small apartment buildings. And as a kid, he maintained, him and his brothers maintained and managed these apartment complexes. So I started telling him about this, and this is something he was really comfortable with. Anyway, ends up, he walks into a laundromat down the street from where he lives in Hoboken, Jersey, and he starts talking to the owner. And this guy is in this exact setup. Come to find out, they start to talk, and they start to talk about, hey, what would it take for me to, own this business? Or, are you looking to sell? And the guy's like, yeah, not only am I looking to sell, but I have 16 units as well. The building comes along with 16 units. So my buddy is now in negotiations with this guy. Like this exact thing that Codie Sanchez talks about, he literally walked into and landed. And during this same time, I've started to look, for video production companies, because that's kind of my next place that I want to go. So just as I've not only done my research, but put a little bit of this work into place, it's so out there. When I started to search online for businesses for sale, I could not believe the availability of some really good stuff, depending on your skill set and the type of things that you like to do. Anyway, I just wanted to break in here as I'm editing this video and listening to this content. This is real stuff. And if you like this video, you'll love this one. It's my top 5 takeaways from Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. So before you go, be a friend, smash the like button, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss a new video when I post. See you in the next one.